Welcome back, Moonies. This is episode 3. Can you believe it? We have so much to talk about today, but before we get started, if this is your first time joining us, or if you've been living under a moon rock, this is Silver Millennials, a fun, friendly podcast where not only millennials, but fans of all ages can get the latest news, event recaps, discussions, and take walks down memory lane of our favorite 90s anime, Sailor Moon. We are a group of 5 friends living our best lives with Sailor Moon on the brain 24/7. We're so excited to welcome you into our Moon fam. Join us each episode for Sailor Moon talk and good times. Now, without any further ado, let's meet the team.
Hi everyone, this is Tara, your resident Luna kitty queen. And remember, this kitty has claws. Wink, wink. Meow.
Hey everybody, it's Luke. I'm just your average Sailor Moon know-it-all, chasing my girl Usagi around the globe since 1995.
Hey, this is Lux, your Mermazing Scorpio, here to remind you Sailor V came first.
This is your buff Sailor Moon girl ＯCHI, keeping you guys up to date on all that Sailor Moon merch news.
And again, this is Sin. Sailor Moon event, you say, I am on my way. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, let's get down to business with our Sailor Moon Roundtable recap. Last episode, we made predictions for Usagi's birthday party, and sure enough, we were hit with an official birthday announcement video. There are way too many announcements for us to give a deep-in look into all of them, but here's a super quick summary.
Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon All-Color Complete Edition. It's a new digital release of the Sailor Moon manga. Volumes 1 and 2 became available on June 29th.
They're so pretty. Okay, so the Sailor Moon wedding dress collection. Maria Rosa has created a collection of Sailor Moon wedding dresses and tuxedos. They will be available for rental only at bridal boutiques and hotels in Japan starting August 2020.
They're so beautiful. I can't wait to hear more about those. Sailor Moon Eternal movie is also collaborating with shampoo and conditioner brand Essential. They are coming this November.
Buffering in the Sailor Moon Eternal movie. This is an advertising campaign with a popular headache pain relief medicine brand. They also announced that they will have a goods lottery. Stay tuned, it starts August 2020.
Sailor Moon Eternal movie with Jins is an eyeglass collaboration that is set to begin reservations in the fall of 2020 with a release date of spring 2021.
Next up, Sailor Moon Eternal movie and Samantha Thavasa Group. It's another clothing and apparel collaboration. More details are coming this fall.
And then you have the Sailor Moon Eternal movie and Anasui collaboration. This is the popular accessory and apparel brand and has yet another Sailor Moon collaboration coming this winter.
Love those collabs with
Me
Anasui.
too. So excited for
Stuff
this
is
one.
so beautiful and unique.
Yes.
The Sailor Moon store is also collaborating with Liquim. This is an accessory collaboration, and more details will be coming this fall.
The Sailor Moon Eternal movie and Jueti, a new street fashion clothing collaboration coming this fall. Again, if I pronounce that wrong, I'm not French, I'm Texan.
Howdy, howdy.
And finally, the Sailor Moon Store Petite. It's basically a pop-up Sailor Moon store, and it's going to be in different locations. They will be announced ahead of the Sailor Moon Eternal movie, starting with the Fukuoka area in October, the Osaka area in November, the Kyoto's Kittyland in December, and Osaka's Umeda Kittyland in January. Whew, that was a lot. For more details, be sure to head over to the Sailor Moon official website to watch the complete birthday announcement video. Now, before we move on, did anyone want to dive deeper into any of the announcements?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to, sorry, but I really wanted to talk about the new digital manga release because this one is amazing. So it's a brand new digital manga release and the pages are full color. Volumes 1 and 2 were released exclusively in Japan on digital platform, and they're going for 990 yen each. No news on future releases. But I gotta say, I absolutely love it. I purchased it, and this is the best that the manga has ever looked. Literally, it breathes so much life into the illustrations. But there's a big but. It's only available on digital. So for a lot of fans, that's not going to cut it. Collectors want high quality books on high quality paper.
We sure do.
Preach it.
Yes.
And I know right now here in the US, Kodansha's in the middle of releasing the Sailor Moon Eternal editions in both print and digital. I know that on July 17th, our digital version of Volume 8 should be out on Amazon Kindle and Apple iBooks and other platforms. But right now, we pay $9.99 to $13.99 for digital volumes. But with these new colored volumes, I feel like it feels so second class looking at it now when you look at the black and white compared to the color version. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I know that right now in Japan, you can still buy black and white for 858 yen. But why would you buy black and white now that they have a color version and it looks so amazing?
Why not?
I mean, a lot of people want a book version. So
The problem is that this new version is very high quality and would require high quality printing, which means it's going to cost a lot to print all of those pages in color. So buying the black and white version is just an easier way to have it, because then the color one would be so expensive. Like, is anyone prepared to pay more than $50 per volume? I mean, I'm not sure that's what it's going to cost, but I'm just guessing.
It depends on how many of the little story arcs or chapters, whatever, are in each book. For me personally.
Right. They might make them shorter, maybe.
I would love a hardbound. We've never had a hardbound manga, and I think it would be so awesome if they finally made a hardbound version with the colored pages.
I feel like this is another way to distract us from the art book.
Where is that? Art book who?
True.
For sure.
I think that they'll be able to do it. The Eternal editions of the manga are on like glossy, high quality paper.
Yeah.
And there is so much more colored images and pages in those already. I think they could totally do a full color manga in that format. I think it's doable. I do think they might cost slightly a bit more, but not too much more, because the pages already are glossy and there are a lot of colored images already in them. But I do want to kind of make a comment about when Luke was saying, you know, why do we have all of these digital releases? They still have the black and white digital release, and now they have the colored one. And I just feel like they're just looking for opportunities to take our money everywhere. They don't care. It's easy. I mean, putting it digital format, that's no skin off their back. There's just more money.
Yeah.
Costs them nothing, yeah.
And we buy.
Yeah.
We sure do.
Well, this looks, I mean, literally, I'm going to throw up some of the pictures and you guys can see it looks phenomenal. And they went through and they just did such a great job. Now, there are a few things that you'll kind of like be like, whoa, wait, why is Mercury's sweater black? Or, you know, there's things that are kind of like a what the moment, but really a great job overall.
Yeah, and sometimes even images that we didn't know the exact color. For example, the moonstick. Everybody's been mentioning about the moonstick. That is actually canonically silver.
Yeah, you make a good point. We're going to finally see some of these manga images in color canon now. Like, I mean, this stuff is going to be official. I'm assuming they're working, you know, along with Naoko. I'm sure she's not doing all the coloring though, but she's probably being talked to about what color should be what, I'm assuming.
Well, with that, like, I mean, had this come out back when it was released, I would totally believe like this is canon. But to me, she like changes her mind so much. Says like
She
it's gonna be
does.
silver now. It's
Yeah, that
true.
moonstick's been lots of different colors.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So.
and they've been discussing that in some Sailor Moon groups, and I remember commenting on one of them. I'm like, well, it's whatever Naoko decided she wanted it to be that day.
That is exactly right. That is so true.
Because she has made a lot of mistakes. I mean, she's not perfect, even though we think she is. But she has changed a lot of things over time, especially when they redrew some of the images in the Shinsobans.
Yeah.
Luke, did you want to say, was it pretty easy for, you know, like an international fan to purchase these?
Yeah, so the way that I actually got it is I had a friend buy me a Amazon Japan gift card, and I just used it in order to purchase the volumes. It does require a Japanese form of payment, so that's one of the easier ways of being able to get these. And you can just use your regular Amazon JP account.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. So I also think from the announcements of Usagi's birthday video, I think I want to dive into the wedding dress situation.
Yes. Dive in. Splash.
You
Tell us
married.
what you think, Sin.
I think it's time to renew my vows.
Sin needs a man now.
Oh, no, I don't. Actually, I don't.
She's gonna marry herself.
Yes. So we had like 5 or 6 different wedding dresses. It was the Serenity dress, Usagi's wedding dress, a Sailor Moon like fuku dress, and then just one that had like moon and star patterns. That isn't necessarily in your face moony kind of dress. And then we had. It looks like bridesmaids dresses, but
Yeah, they look like bridesmaids.
You
But
got
it
that
depends.
human Luna, too.
yeah, they got the human Luna too. And we had tuxedos, but I am so excited to see these. Like they announced them earlier this year, and I've been waiting all this time because I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna get married, but I want one just for my collection because I'm a greedy bitch. But which one was your guys' favorite? I am
Fuku.
Yes,
Yes,
I
the
am dying
Fuku
for the
one.
Fuku one.
Yeah.
Princess Serenity was my favorite.
Yeah,
Serenity is
pretty.
also perfect.
the Serenity one's beautiful.
Remember when I said I wish I could be like a female ice skater so I could be out there doing the Sailor Moon Prism on
Yes.
ice? Well, if that dream comes true, I'm going to be also getting married in the Fuku dress.
Add to that daydream, right?
So, Brooke, when you get married in the Serenity one, I'm gonna have the human Luna one for the bridesmaid dress, okay?
Yes. You know what? And I think those are my favorite because they're cosplay, basically.
They
They're
are.
some high quality cosplay dresses, and I think they are beautifully done.
Yeah.
And I think that the materials that they chose are very classy, very high quality. So it doesn't look like cosplay, even though it basically is. But it just looks so well done. They're so well made. I love them.
You know what? That brings like a suggestion to mind. You guys remember when we were in Japan? I don't remember which trip this was, but there are those stores, I think it was in Akihabara maybe, where you could rent Sailor Moon costumes.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder why they wouldn't do that with some of these more cosplay ones, because not everybody gets married. Marriage isn't for everybody. Why can't they rent some of these out cosplay wise? You know what I mean?
Just mentioning really quick, since we glossed over it in the first part, but these dresses are not for sale. These dresses are rental only. So basically, you can only wear them for a couple of hours or the day. I'm not sure how it works yet, but I definitely agree with what ＯCHI is saying. Why can't you just rent it out and go to a convention or something? It's just so damn beautiful. Why do you have to be getting married to wear them?
Yeah. Yeah. I think a wider audience would be able to, wear them and do like a photo shoot with them.
Yes.
Especially with people who, can't sew or anything. They can just rent these elegant official costumes.
Which I do believe some people might be doing.
You know what? They might, be doing that too. Because I'm not really sure about the details. Can you only rent them at the hotel? Or does it have to be a certain event?
It seems like there's going to be a few hotels that are going to carry these, but I have no idea. They haven't really been clear about it.
I can't wait for more details.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out in August when we start seeing all these pictures of everybody looking so damn amazing.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because I
It's
can't.
going to be so elegant.
I mean, they have these beautiful wedding dresses, and then they have Luna. So it's like, that's not really a wedding dress.
Not really.
So I have to think that they're.
reception dress.
Yeah, I feel like they're like, well, yeah, reception dress, or like they are kind of playing on the cosplay part. So it'd be interesting to see all the pictures that come out.
Yeah, they were, because look, their hairstyles was exactly like Human Luna and Princess Serenity. They were definitely cosplaying.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have the wigs too.
Did they say they
Ooh.
would? I think they did.
They didn't?
Didn't they?
Did they say that?
I thought they said something about accessories. I know that, and I don't know if a wig is an accessory.
Well, I guess we'll see.
We shall see. More details to come.
All right, and so now we're going to get to the moment everyone was waiting for. Let's talk about the Sailor Moon Eternal preview.
I wasn't waiting for that.
Okay. So who wants to dive into the little preview that we had? Okay,
I do.
Let's take it away, Ochi.
Let me just get this over with, please, and then y'all can. Y'all are gonna hate me. Okay. So after the announcements on the Usagi birthday video, they did show the henshin of Super Sailor Moon and Super Sailor Chibi Moon. And to be honest, you guys, I was bored to death. It was nothing new. And I know a lot of you guys liked PGSM because, it brought something new to the franchise. It was brand new in terms of, it wasn't rehashing the same thing over and over. I really wished that they did that with Eternal. I wanted a brand new transformation with different frames, but this was the exact frame by frame almost. And I know there's people out there that will argue with me, but it really was the same as the 90s Supers season. And I'm just bored to death. That's my opinion on it. I wish it was something new and fresh.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people it's not frame by frame, but I mean, it's pretty damn close.
It is. And why is Chibiusa so small?
She's super inconsistent throughout, though. It's like one time she's like up to Sailor Moon's shoulder, and then she's at Sailor Moon's belly button. It's like, what is going on with the consistency?
Maybe they decided to make her so small so she matched Pegasus better.
So she can ride on that little pony.
She can ride the little pony.
There have been a lot of arguments, and it's really sad because it is tearing the Sailor Moon community up. Some people are like, oh, they're just complaining. But in reality, no, we just want Sailor Moon to get the treatment she deserves, and we know what kind of technology is out there to make amazing looking animes.
Mm-hmm. Like they did a whole new transformation sequence for the USJ movies.
Yes.
And
that was so nice.
Those were completely different.
Why are they not using that technology? I
Oh
loved
my God.
USJ.
That would be so amazing. A film based off of USJ's animation would be really amazing. Anybody that hasn't gone to or wasn't able to go to USJ and see that animation, look up on YouTube, watch what the Sailor Moon handle has for the footage of that. It's really pretty.
And different. Something new. Something fresh. A different,
very different,
Yeah, different
yes.
take on the henshin. So I
mean, Sailor Moon flies, so whatever.
That was the weird part. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Well, I can say, as someone who did not go to USJ and didn't really have any interest, I will say that the design that they did was very beautiful. So I do agree, as the outsider here, a movie with that design and technology would be so much better.
I think that's where the Sailor Moon community all agrees on. Everybody really did like the USJ animation. Even people who aren't normally a fan of CGI, completely for animes, everybody liked USJ. I really don't think there was any negativity talked about that attraction.
I will say, though, there is some good news, which is that we are getting part 2 in February. So we never had any news about part 2. So the first movie's coming out January 8th. The second movie coming out February 11th. Now, the cool thing is for sure we will get stuff we've never seen before. We're going to get a transformation for Saturn because that happens in the manga. In Crystal, we never saw a Pluto transformation, so we'll get that. And then we're going to see new storylines that we've never seen before. So even though there is a lot of old or recycled that we're seeing, we for sure are going to get some new stuff. So there is still stuff to look forward to. And even though I agree with all of you, I think that there's no excuse for them just to do a trace job on that transformation. I am still looking forward to see kind of what's to come.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that COVID is the reason why the Sailor Moon movie was pushed back, but I wonder if part 2 was always going to be in February.
Yeah, that's what I was
think
thinking
so.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were like, well, crap. Okay, so now we have to move the movie part 1 to January. And, well, we might as well announce part 2.
Yep.
Here it is, February.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. We're going to, have just a very short break in between. So we're going to get back-to-back Sailor Moon movies. It's going to be wonderful months.
Yay.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a year wait like with Harry Potter and Twilight and Avengers. So
Yeah.
Super stoked. And I hope we can travel around
I
then.
hope so.
Hope those travel bans are lifted so we can travel in 2021.
Oh, fingers are crossed.
Yes. That was it for our roundtable recap. So let's head on over to our collector's corner. Ochi, you're normally in charge of that. Do you want to take a stab at it?
I could kick it off. Sure. So one of the biggest announcements and one of the most fun, in my opinion, announcements is that Volks announced the Sailor Venus Dolphy Dream doll. The inners are going to be complete, you guys, this year.
Yeah.
She is going to be the DDS size, and that means Dolphy Dream's sister. So she's going to be the same size as Sailor Moon, Mercury, and Mars. So that's pretty exciting. She is going to come with her regular accessories that all the other inners came with. Her Star Power Stick, wig, fuku. She runs 63,000 yen for the doll only. And then her Minato Ward Shiba Park uniform set is 7,800 yen. They are both going to be released at the same time on August 30th, 2020 at the Dalpa, I always get that mixed up. I know it's like short for Dolls Party, but it's kind of hard to say when you combine it. Dalpa Kyoto Hometown 17, which I'm not really familiar with that, but I assume it's just a place to buy some of these Volks dolls. We're going to get more information as time goes on and we get closer to August 30th, but there is not a US launch for now, so we're kind of assuming it may be the same as Jupiter, but as we'll find out later once they release more details on her. What do you guys think?
So excited!
Super excited! Yes! Cannot wait to have the inners complete.
This line is pretty expensive, so not a lot of people can afford these. And even those of us who can, this one dropped out of nowhere. I haven't even given my first payment on my credit card for Jupiter, and I already have to charge Venus. So I'm just a little bit worried that they launched so soon. I was expecting maybe at the end of the year, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited. I'm still excited.
Yeah, and for those of you guys who don't know out there, Mercury and Mars were released at the same time. So that was a big hit to people's bank accounts and wallets too. So we aren't super not familiar with them launching 2 dolls at once, but we don't like it when they do that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we also don't like it when they force us to ship things separately.
Yeah,
That is
but
really
you know what?
frustrating.
I hate that as well, but maybe they just feel like the doll could get damaged because when they do ship the doll, it's in a box that's exactly its size. You could, unless they wanted to squish in the uniform and of course damage the packaging, it probably wouldn't work out. But
Yeah,
it does
but
suck. It does.
Her Fuku is in there too, though. So
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
They
so
do.
You can just throw it on in there too.
wait, they come naked?
Yeah, watch my Jupiter unboxing. It's completely naked. You can see the nips and everything.
They have nipples?
Volks in general, though, I went to the Volks store when it was in California, and literally, when they're handling the dolls, they're wearing white gloves, so I could just see them being very, very particular about the way that they ship those things.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're definitely packaged very well. And,
Yeah.
they do take pride in their dolls. Definitely.
Yeah. Agreed. They do package very well. Yes, you're paying a premium for their packaging and separate shipments, but they do a quality job. But we're still excited for her because the inners are going to be complete, and I don't know where I'm going to put them. These dolls are gigantic, you guys. We're going to have to make some room.
They are.
Don't forget to order your doll stands and wig cap now, so you're ready for her.
Yeah, because so far, especially with COVID going on, I think Volks has really been having a hard time keeping some of their accessories for the dolls in stock because the stands and the wig cap have been going in and out of stock. I've been noticing. And I think a lot of people want Venus. And this is going to be a lot of people's first Dolphies. They're Venus just looks so beautiful. We can't pass on her. So I think we're going to see some things staying out of stock for a while because of that.
All right, let's move on. We have some Tamashii Nations news. This year, because of COVID, they were unable to do that little event they have every year where people can go see their newest releases and their newest projects. But they did have this event online. It was called Tamashii Features 2020, and obviously they had a bunch of things from different brands, but for Sailor Moon specifically, they were showing 3 upcoming releases. One of them, or should I say the most remarkable one, is the Cutie Moonrod Proplica Brilliant Color Edition. We previously had another Cutie Moonrod, but according to Tamashii Nations, this one is more anime accurate. We also got another version of the Crystal Star Compact. The first edition was a little bit off in its colors, so they're also calling this a more anime accurate release. And finally, they also showed the upcoming figure arts. These are reissues, again with anime accurate colors. So it's their second release of season 1 figure arts. I hear a lot of conflicting emotions about this. Like, some people are not happy that they're reissuing Proplicas when they should be focusing on the ones that were missing. And other people are really happy because these are more accurate to the anime. So what do you guys think?
Anytime Tamashii Nations announces something, I take it with a grain of salt because, like, they've announced so many things that just never came out. Like, where is the Eternal Sailor Moon figure arts? And what happened to, like, the Sailor Moon Star Locket? So there's, like, so many things that they've announced that just never came out. So I don't know.
Well, I will say, I was very angry when they announced them at first. I was like, why is this necessary? And then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, maybe they're just doing it because there has been a lot more collectors and people buying the merch later on. And maybe they're just like, well, let's just re-release these and see if we can, sell them to those kind of collectors. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But then these products have now been on display. Because, when you see the stock image online, you're like, whatever. But they have already been on display and people have already taken pictures of them. And they do look more accurate. And I'm talking about the Cutie Moonrod and the Crystal Star Compact to the anime. Especially the Crystal Star Compact. I don't know if you guys remember the first release of that. It was so orangey. It was like a weird translucent color that went from pink to orange and it made no sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one looks more baby pink like it does in the anime, and I will admit I changed my mind once I saw the in-person photos.
Yep. I changed my mind as well. Like ＯCHI, I ordered both of them and it's just, sure, it's part a money grab. Sure, it's also for all those collectors that weren't able to get it before. I've seen lots of collectors so excited that they missed out.
I have too.
On when these were released before, and now they can't afford the older ones, and now they can afford these. So I think at least they changed the colors to more accurate coloring, because. Yeah, I'm guilty. I got them as soon as I saw it from the Sailor Moon store pictures on their Instagram. I was like, all right, you sold me.
We probably need to mention that the Cutie Moonrod is only a Tamashii Premium Bandai order only in Japan. So we're not going to see them on places like Ami Ami and Hobby Link Japan. You're only going to be able to buy them from like a proxy service or some places like Big in Japan, Nin Nin Game, those places buy from the Premium Bandai website and sell them for a very, very small fee. So if you're looking to get the Japanese version of that, those are where you're going to have to order it from or wait for the international release. There should be one of those, but we haven't heard any information on that yet. But the Crystal Star Compact is available anywhere. So that one is going to be a more wide release.
Okay, I was just going to say, I'm just going to be the cynic of the group. I just feel like they had a bunch that didn't sell. And they're like, let's just slap a new coat of paint on here and it's more accurate. Go ahead. Have at it, kids. Chow down.
It's totally unnecessary, I will agree. Like, if we were to get more Proplicas instead of these accurate color Proplicas, I would always go toward new Proplicas.
There was an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa complains about a talking Malibu Stacy doll, and in the end, they re-release it with a new jacket, and she's like, "Who would want to buy that?" And everyone goes wild. So that's what I think of.
Oh, sorry. Us. Sorry, it's me and Tara.
We bought them.
Yeah. Well, I did pass on these. Like, I'm really happy with the versions that we have. I know the crystal star is orangey, but it's grown on me. So, I mean, whatever.
Well, you know what? I will say, though, that I did not buy the anime colored figure arts, SH
Yeah,
figure
me
arts.
either.
So
Me neither.
They didn't fully get us, okay?
The figure arts in general stress me out. They don't ever stay in one place after you're done posing them, and then they like pop off an arm and a hand. I just don't like to
They
deal
are
with them in
so
general.
fragile, too. Like, my black lady, she broke, and her price, her resale price now is ridiculous.
They really are. I think they are really expensive for what they are.
They're super pretty. Like, I love the idea of it because I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna make her pose like this or that, and she looks perfect, just like the anime. And then I'm like trying to pose her, and then like she's like falling apart, or I get her right, and then the stand doesn't hold her, and I'm just like, you know what? You're going back in the box, bitch. Bye.
That's why I don't open mine.
Okay, so we've gotten a few separate announcements after Usagi's birthday, including some little things like the jigsaw puzzle, and there's like a theater craft kit, and we also got some accessories. So I think, Tara, you want to dive into the paper craft one?
Yeah, so these paper theater craft kits, they have a little scene from the movie or show or whatever. And you can put them together, and it's just, well, you know how I am with art and crafts.
Yeah.
It's just so unique and pretty, and it's 3D-ish.
I hope you don't have to cut that paper.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I hope not. Yeah, this will be my first one, so... Because I wanted to get a Rapunzel one, but that sold out. So I don't know if it's already together or if we have to put it together or...
Yeah, because none of us here have ever had one, so we do not know how to put these together.
Well, but also, like, you know, sometimes they come perforated. Like, I remember having a really cool haunted house one as a kid, and it just ripping, like, the chimney and this and that. So I always stay away from stuff like that because it's, like, bad memories.
Well, maybe I'll do a video on it. We'll see how it goes.
Ooh, yeah, make a video.
And I wanted to talk about the Sailor Moon Store original accessories. They say it's a series, so this looks like this announcement is only the first release. And I am all about the jewelry. I don't wear it, but I love to collect it. And so they had a few different things. They had a crystal star locket, or it's not a locket, it's more like a pendant. And then some dangly earrings with the Sailor Fuku. They had...
You're not going to wear the dangly earrings, Sin?
Actually, I'm going to buy 2 so that I can wear a set.
Okay, so you are going to use
better
some of
sport
them.
Yeah, you're right. And then they had some earrings that were so cute because it was a Sailor Moon choker, a tiara, and I think it was Serenity's like little chest ornament thingy from her dress.
Yep.
And then they also had, what's the last one? There were bracelets with the tiara and Neo Queen Serenity's crown. So I am so excited about this, mostly because they're really affordable. They're not these exorbitant Anasui style prices, but those get into the hundreds or 200s. And honestly, I don't like them that much. But these are very like simple and affordable, and I love them.
Yeah, besides Q-Pot, is this the only other like non-real jewelry from Sailor Moon we got? Because all the other jewelry has been like really expensive, you know, hundreds of dollars, real gold, real silver, stuff like that.
Well, there was that one announcement from Isagi's birthday. That looked pretty, like the accessory from the LUKE.
Oh, right.
That one is inexpensive as well.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So they're finally catering, you know, in giving us cheaper jewelry, because how many collabs have we seen that's like hundreds to thousands of dollars for these tiny real gold pendants and rings?
So tiny.
Maybe they knew because they were throwing Venus etch all back to back. They're like, let's give them some like costume jewelry.
They threw us a bone.
Thank you, Sailor Moon.
Thank you, because we're too poor now to buy any real gold jewelry.
Help me, I'm poor.
I never bought any of that before. I just want to state that stuff was way out of my price range.
Yeah, same. On this side of the pond, we do have things like Hot Topic and Box Lunch. They have very affordable jewelry, and it's cute too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good point. And now Sailor Moon fans in Japan are going to get that, and that's awesome. They're going to sell the crap out of those. So many people are going to buy that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So I think that's it for our little collector's corner. And let's move into our new segment, Moonlight Memories, where we reminisce about Sailor Moon topics of the past. We kind of gave you guys a little preview last episode where we were going to talk about PGSM. For those who don't know, PGSM, or Pretty Garden Sailor Moon, it's a Japanese tokusatsu, which is live-action TV series based on Sailor Moon's first story arc. The series aired from October 2003 to September 2004, and it was produced by the Toei Company. The show lasted 49 episodes, with 2 special episodes included on the DVD release. You can still buy the series through retailers like Amazon or CD Japan, and there are also some English fan subtitled versions out there. But please support Sailor Moon and buy official copies before you download any fan sub. But anyway, enough preaching. As we know, over the years, we've seen multiple video releases of the 90s anime, multiple manga releases, countless musicals, and Sailor Moon Crystal and Sailor Moon Eternal movies in the spotlight. But PGSM has kind of faded into obscurity a little bit. In 2018, when Sailor Moon's longtime brand manager and former manga editor, Fumio Osano, better known as Osabu, gave his World of Sailor Moon presentation to international fans. I think this was at a convention, right?
He did it twice. He did it once at Anime Expo, and then he also did it at Anime Matsuri.
Yeah, that's the one we went
there
to.
For the Anime Expo one, I think.
No, the Anime Matsuri.
Oh, that was
Anime Matsuri.
Yeah, you're right. That was
Yeah.
The Anime.
Yeah, because I remember this. And he kind of gave the history of Sailor Moon, like how the manga got started and what happened during the anime and stuff. But he never mentioned the live action series. So that brings us to our Moonlight Memories discussions for today. We actually want to hear from you guys, from the people listening to the podcast. Just tell us on our social media what you think. Did you like PGSM? Did you not? As we mentioned before, Luke, Lux, and Sin, myself, we've watched PGSM. Luke and I watched it during the original run, and Lux watched it maybe a couple years ago. Lux?
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, more than a couple. So Brooke and Tara never watched it. So over the past couple of weeks, we've been watching it. I sit down with them to watch it as well, because I haven't done a rewatch since it aired. So it's been quite a few years. So I'm actually rewatching it with the girls too. So, all right, let's get started. How about we open with a question? Do you guys think that PGSM is a worthy part of Sailor Moon history, or is it like a mistake that should be forgotten? What do you guys think?
It is definitely worthy. It stands out on its own. It did its own thing. It started out so true, and then it started embellishing on its own. It just became something so wonderful.
I have really enjoyed it. I mean, it is really cheesy, but I expected that because I also like Power Rangers, so duh. I knew it was going to be really cheesy, and I knew the villains were going to be really goofy. And there's a lot of extra moments in PGSM, but I really, really like it. I'm sad that it took me so long to dive into this.
Oh, yeah.
And just to mention really fast, we've only seen up to episode 11, so we haven't gotten into the more complicated stuff coming up later on. But just so you know, right now, episode 11.
Well, I've only watched up to episode 6. I'm a little bit behind because, I've had some life incidents happen, but I'm going to catch up.
Well, what do you think, Ochi, so far?
Okay. My thoughts may not align with all of you as far as what I've seen so far up to episode 6. It is definitely cheesy, and it definitely has some. It's very unusual, and I'm speaking to people who have never ever seen it. This was really hard for me to get into back in the day when, like, before I traveled to Japan or anything like that. So it's very, since it is filmed in Japan and by Japanese actresses, it's very like, Japan culture. And I think that's what I'm loving about it the most. So if you're like really into Japanese culture, I think that's a really good reason to watch it, because it is a lot different. Like, the characters are so different than the anime characters, which I feel like the anime characters kind of come off a little bit with a Western vibe sometimes, the way that they're really extra cheery and outspoken and kind of unconventional when it comes to conformity in Japan and stuff like that. And I think that PGSM is showing more of the Japanese side of these characters. So like Ami, for example, is so super reserved and quiet and very, very shy. And I kept trying to really like her character, and try to resonate with her character and try to picture myself in her shoes on how she's trying to make friends, and how Usagi's talking to her, and how she really second guesses every move she does. And that just doesn't come across the Ami that I remember in the anime. So I think that the characters are very different. And like Lux said, it was very fresh and new. And I do like that aspect of it. So that's where I stand. It's still cheesy, and it so far is not my favorite version of Sailor Moon. I will say that.
Well, just to touch on that Ami thing, I actually have the opposite feelings of that, because to me in the anime, I've always kind of felt her like as the least interesting of the group. Like, she was always kind of dull in there. She's kind of like Rei from Evangelion. Like, she's super popular for some reason, but she's just there. And I think PGSM gave her a whole new depth. We understood her. We understood why she's like this. We understand why she has the pressure to be so like into her schoolwork, and why she's so reserved. And I love that it gave her like a whole new side that we never have seen before. And that actress, just her innocence, like, but then like she also can command the screen. You'll definitely see later.
That's
but,
what
like,
I'm thinking. I was like, maybe I haven't got to these parts yet, because I'm not feeling any of these vibes yet up to episode 6.
I don't know. Like, because I've been rewatching it with you guys, and just watching the episode with Ami, like, I fall in love with her, and I'm like, now I know why. Like, I remember I love PGSM, because some characters get so much more depth that they never had.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for
Like-
that. And I hope my views on Rei changes too, because she is a stone cold bitch.
She is.
Hasn't she always been?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like more like comedy in the anime, I feel like. And this one is like, oh my god, this girl wants nothing to do with Usagi.
Oh yeah.
I really like Naru. She's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She is super cute.
Oh.
And I like Naru too so far. And also Mamoru.
Yes.
Why is he so fine, first of all?
Yes, thank you.
So he is, and so is Motoki. Oh my god.
Matoki is so
Motoki's
nice.
cute.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, can they swap
Matoki's so
roles?
weird. I didn't know that was him at first.
And his turtle.
Oh my god.
Oh, the turtle's super cute.
He needs a bigger tank.
See, that's another growth. Like, they gave Motoki so much more than just the cute clerk, like he has more personality. He's more ditzy, and he loves his little turtle.
He does. His poor little turtle.
I think that for me, the thing about the show is it's a very, very loose adaptation on the first series. So they don't hesitate to try new things, and they certainly do a lot. But the thing that I like about it the most is they dive into the characters a lot more. You get a lot more character development. When you're looking at things like Crystal, you see characters that one episode don't know each other, and the next episode we're supposed to believe that they have some kind of an emotional connection. Well, in PGSM, they actually take the time to show them building a relationship, and you actually believe that these girls all like each other.
Not all
And they
of
actually
them.
do. Like, the actresses still hang out with each other because there's legit chemistry.
I don't believe it for Rei yet.
Wait till you get to Venus, Brooke. Woo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Venus is cold. What Luke is saying, I noticed that right away about the character development. It is, like you get to meet these girls, and one after the next episode, you get development. You do get to see who these characters are, whereas in season 1 of Crystal, it's like, whoa, hi. Oh, hi, you're here? Oh, okay, wait, go ahead and transform. It's just so fast in Crystal.
Yeah, the pacing is great for character development, and I will say I love the actress who plays Usagi. She is so cute, and I think she captures Usagi's personality so well.
Tara, you were saying about like the transformation. There's one thing about PGSM that drives me crazy is that they will refer to each other in costume while transformed as like Skino-san. I'm like, girl, like there's people around. Like,
yeah. I did notice that.
They do that when they're fighting too. It's like, no, what are you doing?
You don't hear like Wonder Woman saying, Bruce, get Commissioner Gordon out of here, Bruce.
Yeah, and they didn't do that in the anime either. So it's really weird that their secret identities aren't being kept secret.
I caught that right away. Like, what are you doing? Like you. And I have to say, Luna plush character is so cute.
Gosh.
Glad someone thinks so.
Wow. Poor Luna.
I wish that they would have just either stuck with the puppet or stuck with the digital, like going back and forth between the CG Luna and the puppet Luna. It was a little bit jarring at times.
You're right.
Luke's OCD is like, no, I can't handle this.
But that doesn't bother me half as much as jumping to human Luna.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking, that maybe that's why y'all are like dogging on Luna, because we know what's coming.
Yes.
And her personality changes so much.
Yes.
No.
That's what I've been hearing.
All right, hold on. Let's not spoil it for the girls. They haven't gotten to their.
Well, I mean, but they know that, like, these girls have searched Sailor Moon. They know that she's good. She's obviously the Chibiusa of the show.
Yeah, and I know the gist. I know that Mercury turns dark at some point. Sailor Moon turns into Princess Sailor Moon. So I know all the spoilers.
I'm sad about Luna turning into this little thing.
I love PGSM, but there are some downfalls, like Sailor Luna being one of the most major. And I was super excited that they have like Sailor V, but as someone who loves Venus, like I hated her so much. I hated Venus in PGSM so much. Like I never liked her. And another thing that drove me crazy about PGSM, because I could go on and on about the things I love, but I have to say, like, I hated that Princess Serenity didn't have her Sailor Moon hair.
I haven't gotten there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there either. What kind of hair does she have?
I'm like, wait, what?
She has regular, like, her square cut bangs and just flat Japanese hair.
Oh, well, wait a minute. I wonder why that doesn't make sense, because when she transforms, she has the yellow hair.
Exactly. Like, why? So what? So Sailor Moon is like, that's a whole mind-boggling thing that I try not to think about.
Maybe they try to separate Sailor Moon and Serenity then. Maybe they're trying to...
You'll see. There's a part where they're not separated.
It sounds like they just doing their own thing.
Princess Sailor Moon. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god.
I watched it first when it came out back in the day, so it was super exciting because they had the 1 episode a week format, so you actually had to wait a whole week for the next episode. And at first I was also like, ugh, so cringy. I'm not a huge fan of the Power Rangers, so I did feel like it was too Power Rangers-y and not too Sailor Moon-y.
Well, okay, when you mentioned that, and Tara does too, about Power Rangers, I grew up with Power Rangers too, loved Power Rangers, but there's no way in hell I can watch it again.
Oh yeah.
Like that's kind of how I'm feeling about the cringiness of this. Like,
agree.
Like I would never go back and watch Power Rangers.
Right.
I just wouldn't, even though I liked it as a kid.
No hate to people, because I know a lot of people who love them, shout out to y'all because y'all rock. But just it's not for everyone.
Right.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
I don't mind the Power Rangers, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like them.
I watched it like Sin. I watched it every week as it was coming out. Like it would air, and then by the next day, the fan sub was posted online, and you could just watch it. So I watched it, and I'm honestly having a hard time rewatching it because it's not the same way that I remembered it at all.
Oh wow.
And I think that the first time that I watched it, there was the dry spell because from when Stars ended in 1997, there were so many years of just nothing until PGSM. So I was just happy to be watching something Sailor Moon.
Yep.
But going back and rewatching it, it didn't hold up to time as well. Like the special effects and stuff definitely are a little bit rough to watch. But I mean, it is what it is. I think that for what it is, I like the character development and I like all that. So
Yeah, I like the character development too, but I do want to kind of talk about the collector value of the show. You know, like especially with us, there are a lot of collectors on this podcast, and I feel like when I really like a show, I want to collect some merch from it. And I've been enjoying PGSM. It's very cringy and everything like that, but I haven't had any inclination to buy the merch.
Really? You don't want the crystal moonstick? It's so beautiful.
I don't. And I don't know if it's because I knew about the toys before I watched the PGSM show and I just never really was into the toys then too, or if the show is directly affecting it too, because, you know, I did know about the toys before the show.
I think that has everything to do with it, because when you're watching the show, you're like, oh my god, this is new, this is something new, oh my god, we've never seen this version of the moonstick, oh my god, we've never seen this, we've never seen that. So the excitement for toys comes when you're watching the TV show. And obviously the TV show is old and dated now, but at the time, and being that it was the only thing Sailor Moon coming out at the time, it just had a different vibe. It was like, I loved it the first time I watched it, because it was like Luke said, it was something new. It was the dry spell, and I was really excited about the toys because it was the first time we had these kind of toys. It was the first time we had the phone instead of the communicators. Mm-hmm. It was fun that we had a talking Luna, like a plushie of Luna that was talking, and it was like all this merch was new at the time. Obviously, like you said, almost 20 years have passed. The merch is nothing new to us, and it's not exciting. And since you're not really into the show either, that's why it's not exciting at all.
I actually watched a couple episodes when it was new and airing, but I never found the fan sub, so I remember downloading it and like just watching it like, oh, cute, and not knowing what was happening. And I remember getting bootlegs like in 2008 or something, and I remember the subs like by episode 20 something were so bad I just had to quit. So rewatched them in 2015, and I remember like, oh my god, I need the moonstick. And I remember Luke picked that up for me while in Japan when we met up. I got it. I was like, yay! And then someone got me the harp, because I remember I was like, need. So I don't know. I think I totally opposite there, because watching it, I was like, I need this in my life. I still want the phone too.
I need
Brooke,
this.
if you ever need the toys, I got them in a box in my collection. You can get
like
them later.
4 copies of each.
I'm actually siding with Lux on this, because I mean, obviously I had the Luna plushes, because duh, Luna, and I have the Artemis plush, because that's just a given. I mean, the plushies are freaking adorable.
I didn't know they released a plush of
Tara,
ours.
you wouldn't even have to watch the show. You would have to have the kitty plush.
Exactly. So obviously I've had those for years. But going on what Lux said, I have actually sparked an interest of getting the moonstick and having a different version of it. So I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of want that too now.
Do you at all want do you want the cell phone? Because I do.
I don't know if I want the cell phone, because I do have the Sailor Luna one, just because it came with her cute mirror.
Oh yeah, that mirror was actually Puppet Luna's face. Yeah, I remember.
Yes, and I only got that set because of Luna's face.
Okay.
I didn't care about the rest of it, but
now that you know that there's a phone and that's what they use as like the Luna pen, but now it's a newer version, how do you like that?
That was so cool.
yeah, I think it's a really cute concept.
And
but
the fact that you could take a picture of what you want to become rather than like turn me into, that's really dope.
Yeah, I will say the modernization that they are doing in that show, as far as 2003, that was really cool. Like I feel like if they did a live action Sailor Moon, obviously they would have iPhones and stuff, so maybe there'd be some new technology or something that Luna gives to the Guardians.
that would be really cute.
The musical La Reconquista, they actually have like phones, and they're like putting apps on it that later on in the musical come into play. Like they play some little what was it, like a love Love app.
Oh,
I remember what you were talking about. Yeah, they downloaded an app and they were communicating with the girls from
Momoiro Clover.
yeah, Clover Z, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it doesn't have a great part in any of the story, but I'm just saying that they also updated to modern phones with apps in the Sailor Moon universe.
I love that.
Yeah.
Whenever they give us something new Sailor Moon and they, modernize it. Oh, love it.
So to close out Moonlight Memories, the little section, do you guys think PGSM is canon?
No.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Canon as in what sense? Like, are we talking officially or like the story or like, I need some clarification.
I don't think that it's canon. I mean, so the thing is when I think Sailor Moon, the original manga and the original anime are like grail for me. Like,
Agreed.
the things that have happened with PGSM and even things that have happened with Eternal, I don't necessarily consider that. But I mean, that could just be my opinion. I don't know. You guys might be different, right?
Like quoting episode 1, quoting myself. Those are opinions.
Yeah.
So
They're separate in their own right.
Yeah, I really like PGSM on its own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly put it with canon, because you can't put that against the anime and the manga. PGSM on its own, it was fun, and I really like that we have something else new, or it's not new, something different. But I don't see it as canon, but I do enjoy it.
I think it's canon for PGSM. I mean, they all are separate in their own right.
I'll explain it like this, in my opinion. It's kind of like there's comics and there's stuff that happens there, and then they do the movie adaptation and it's totally different. Like, people could be like, oh, well, this character wasn't a woman. Like how they made Jimmy Olsen a woman, or they race bend a character. Everything is its own thing, and it's all beautiful. And as long as you love it all, it's all good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
for sure.
Because you can't pick just one version and say it's canon because they're all different.
Except for the manga.
I mean, the manga is so different from the 90s anime.
That's
I mean,
true.
if you're thinking
Yeah.
about it, the manga is the number one canon, right?
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
the anime is
Yes.
second because a lot of people didn't read the manga.
I grew up with the 90s anime, like, so I know, like, the manga's like, like the place setter or whatever, like,
The story.
I don't know, it's not as good as the 90s anime.
The hard thing about Sailor Moon in general is the manga and the anime were being created simultaneously at some times.
Yeah.
So while I know that Naoko's vision is truly in the manga, I think that the anime has some really cool stuff. So shit, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
No, I get your point, and I feel like we should think about it as a book. Like, book has all the information and all the canon in the book, and then different people are going to come in and make their own adaptation of it, whether it be comic books, whether it be movies, whether it be a show, or whatever, it's just other artistic people reinterpreting the material with their own vision. So I remember very clearly asking this to Osabu in that convention that we mentioned a while ago. I asked him, hey, when they make Sailor Moon, and they base it off the manga, does Naoko have any say in any of the other productions, like the musicals, PGSM, the new anime, or does each production have its own person in charge? And he said that yes, that the person who's producing whatever material there is, they're in charge to develop it with their own vision. So within their own little worlds, each one of them could be canon, but the only real canon would be the manga, in my opinion.
Oh, and since you mentioned Osabu,
Yeah.
do you think he's not a fan of PGSM since he completely did not mention it in 2018 to his World of Sailor Moon presentation?
I don't know if he personally isn't a fan. I think that the way they prepared the presentation, they either forgot to include it or don't think it's that important. Personally, I think they are trying to step away from PGSM in Japan, because it used to be on the website. If you guys remember, one of the first renditions of the new website, they had a little tab that said live action, and they've completely removed that.
They sure have. It kind of seems like they're trying to erase it.
Yep, that's exactly
Because
what they're
there hasn't been any new DVD releases of it in Japan, has there?
The latest,
Yeah, we need a Blu-ray release.
the last one I actually bought, but it was back in 2000, I'm going to say 14 or 13. It's recent, but
So they never even did Blu-rays of it.
no Blu-rays.
Ah, something is suspicious.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe they're making a new one.
Hopefully, I mean.
Oh,
We need Viz.
Tara.
We need Viz to release the Blu-rays.
Make a new one. Make a new one.
I don't know if quality-wise, I mean, it was filmed, I think, in standard def. I don't know if it would hold up in a Blu-ray very well.
Yeah. Okay, well, with that, we need to close our Moonlight Memories section. And also, we have reached the end of the episode. Before we leave, I just want to give a really big shout out to our friend Porcelain Lace, aka Serenity. She made these beautiful portraits of us that we've inserted at the beginning of the video. And thank you so much, girl. They came out amazing.
Yes,
We love
thank
them.
you so
It looks
They're
great.
So,
So
gorgeous.
cute.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to be part of the Moon Fam, be sure to subscribe. Our podcast is available on all the major podcast platforms. All you have to do is search Silver Millennials and hit the subscribe button. We're also on YouTube, by the way. Whenever we release like a deluxe version of the episodes, we're always there chatting along with you guys whenever the new episode drops. So don't miss our live shows. They get really exciting sometimes. And if you have any comments, suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. So hit us up on our social media. We're Silver Millennials signing off on episode 3. Thank you so much for your support, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for listening.